Jim Elder, one of our sponsors. Microphone fell over. Jim, congratulations on this.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know you put out, perhaps 4 catalogues a year. Yeah. I have never seen one like this.
Oh, thank you. It's got a bit of diversity in it.
It's a piece de résistance, and it's very big. How many paintings have you got coming up?
260.
260.
Yeah, it's interesting, Jeremy. There's a period there about 2 years ago that we were getting a lot of hyacinths through.
Yep.
Then we never got nothing. At this sale, we got about 8 or 10 hyacinths.
So people were sitting on them, or they were just...
It's just the luck of the draw where they come from.
What's the star of the show? Is it? Caroline says, I've got to move you a little bit closer to the microphone.
We've got a few really interesting pictures. We've got a very lovely colonial piece that was discovered in Adelaide, and that picture on your right-hand side there, Jeremy.
Yes. Hard to explain, but it's a still life.
Yeah, but that's a very lovely painting as well.
I noticed, Jim, there's a Pro Hart there.
Oh, there's always a Pro Hart.
Oh, yes.
Very similar to what's on one of the walls here in the house.
Yeah.
What do you mean, the insect?
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's a green insect. I'm going to
put
look
Pro
at that.
Hart's insects on the map, really. You're interested in work, Jeremy.
No, I wish I could afford to buy more of them, because I think they're
He's very modest,
wonderful.
I might add.
No. I'm a realist.
There's a couple of nice Norman Lindsays in the sale.
Yeah.
The hyacinth on the front cover is very beautiful.
See, I don't know how you can do the job that you do without eating the profits. I mean, eating the profits. Oh. When you get a painting that comes through and you say, I can't sell this, I got to have this.
No, it's not like that, no, but there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes when you're only doing four sales a year. There's big overhead. So, and my main interest has always been the thrill of going out and discovering something like this little colonial picture of Government House in 1837,
So who owned that?
That's
in private hands, or?
Yeah, but believe it or not, I was asked to have a look at for Penny Dowie, who's one of our very competent South Australian painters, to come and have a look at her Uncle John Dowie's bits and pieces before she was rationalising a whole lot of things. And the last item was a piece of board with this particular painting on. 1837, Martha Berkeley, lot written about it, books written on it, and very similar to her work that's in the State Gallery. So, things like that make you realise that, you never know what you're going to find when you go out there to look at things, and that's the thrill of it all.
Yeah.
As well as being able to present nice things to people and let them get a chance to actually view them. Whereas, today, as you know, Jeremy, most of the auction houses have moved to online sales.
Yes.
You have to be pretty good to be able to scan something up on your computer and evaluate it. This gives people a chance to really have a look.
Oh, yeah. I mean, having the catalogue in your hands.
Samla Harris does our write-ups.
Yes.
She has a great knowledge on Australian art.
Yes.
And it just helps to make it all happen.
Yes.
Look, it's a sensational production, Jim. The catalogue itself is a work of art.
It is.
And it should be in the library for preservation. Now, would you say this is one of your piece de resistances?
Oh, no. This is a nice sale, but there's some highlights in every sale. But this is there's always items that stand out in a sale.
Yeah.
But try to keep the quality
Yes.
But,
you're known for quality. I mean, you've got to live up to your reputation.
Yeah, well, you can only sell what you've got at the time being.
Yes. A lot of David
Very
Boyd.
lucky with this sale.
David Boyd sells well, obviously.
He's always sold well, David Boyd. I dealt with him quite a lot when he was alive.
Yeah.
And, I once did a sale going back about 15, 20 years ago. I did one of our last sales in the gallery. And back in those days, a lot of the galleries offering buybacks, the market was so buoyant that they sell something to you and guarantee you a 10% buyback. Well, pictures that were in that particular sale and buying them back that were $3,000 and $4,000 each, which are now $15,000 to $20,000 each.
But when you say buyback, you mean somebody buys the painting and you guarantee...
We guarantee them 10%. Back in those days, the bank interest was about 8%.
Extra 10%.
Well, and that's tax deductible, I would... not tax deductible, but it wouldn't be taxable, would it?
No, look, that was before capital gains, probably.
Yeah.
But, but it's just the way that a lot of galleries dealt in those days.
I'm looking at the Norman Lindsay.
It's too beautiful, Norman.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he had a way with women.
Beg pardon?
He had a way with women.
He certainly knew how to portray it.
He certainly did. Oh, dear. So many lovely and Hugh Sorey.
And the pro Hart there
Yep.
made him famous, the racetrack.
Yep. How much have you got on that? 16 to 20,000.
Yep. It's a big picture, though.
Yeah.
A big picture.
How hard is it to manage people's expectations? They give you a painting to sell and they think it's...
Well, the thing is, one of the things we've got to remember that paintings don't all go up. A lot of them remain static.
Yeah.
We had, if you take, for example, the Jansen brothers here in Adelaide.
Yes.
They were they were dealing at a time and painting at a time from the 60s right through to 2003, something like that. But they painted in an era where traditional decor was a complement to their work.
Yeah.
But as you know, antiques and traditional decor, with the price of houses, you can't afford to build a dining room on or a drawing room.
No.
We've changed our way of living, and there's 2 generations that have gone through that don't want that sort of decor. They don't want those sort of paintings.
But will the wheel turn?
No.
You don't think it will?
No, it's all...
Well, you're an expert.
No, I'm not no expert, but I can't see it turning. When you look back at the thousands and thousands of artists that have been and gone, they don't come back. They're a part of history.
But the value of their paintings, I suppose there's a fashion and there's a cycle.
Oh, yeah, look, no doubt you've heard of the sensation Banksy.
Yes.
And the prices that he brings. And we've got to remember there's a commerciality behind the scene.
But that's without logic, isn't it? I mean, where's it come from? Nobody even knows who he is.
Well, the point is that it's the auction houses themselves who are promoting that particular art. A little while ago, we sent some works to Singapore to Sotheby's to be sold. Yeah. All the works were traditional works. Yeah. And all of a sudden they moved from traditional works by early Singaporean artists and Filipino artists and Indonesian artists. Yeah. They moved from the past to contemporaries. And the only reason for that is because you can always get another one.
But who's driving it? Well, is it the galleries?
No.
Public taste?
Big money. It's a big game to a lot of people. And, when you look at when you look at some of the auction houses, the big auction houses around the world, they've got their own stable of artists that you'll never ever get a chance to deal with them.
Wouldn't it pay you to sort of have a few aspiring artists out the back in a little workshop running up paintings that were what you imagine to be hot,
that's been
fashionable
with our Indigenous art.
It's a factory, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I certainly wouldn't mind having Clifford Possum working out the back. And he was one of the urban type artists who was handling his own work.
Dot paintings came along. I thought they would have been traditional, but I read that. No, it was a white man. In fact, he had red hair. He went out back, and he was the one who invented dot painting, and it was about 1974 or something like that.
Yeah, well, we owe a lot to Namatjura.
Yeah, well, his paintings were beautiful. You knew what he was painting a picture of because there it was right in front of you.
Well, he started a whole school of painters. But the dot paintings are very, very hard to get your head around those because there's so many artists. People don't really realise that there are thousands of artists out there, and they start off at $50 and it could go up to $100,000-$200,000. But
are they worth it?
Behind the scene.
Are they worth it?
Well, we don't go out of our way.
No,
but there's only a few artists that we will handle because it's such a big thing to get your head around, and they take up a lot of paint wall space, and you can't have all parts of the market, Jeremy, and always stick to the traditional work.
And Jim, with the economy tightening, are you finding more material is being presented to you now because people want to liquidate and turn into cash? Or
there's all different reasons why people sell works.
But is there a trend that you're noticing?
Well, the trend is, that young people say that they're not hurting, which is more important, their payments or buying another painting. Not everyone has that luxury, but the wealthy people, certainly it's not affecting us when we get a nice picture in. The harder thing to buy is the painting, not to find the money with a lot of people. And the market has been very, very good for art over the last 20 years, and where it's going to finish, I don't know.
But when you think about it, though, very few investments that you could possibly invest in. You've got a valuable painting. You've bought from a reputable gallery. It's a bankable artist. You can put it on the wall and you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you've got something to show for your money. If you buy stocks and shares, and I'm sure they get a good return as well, you can't look at them. But old cars you can. But
I think I might have told you one time, Jeremy, I was talking to an auction house, one of the directors, and $1 million paintings were just coming up and starting to sell it at $1 million.
$1 million a painting.
And I said to him, I said, wouldn't you rather, you're serious about these pictures bringing $1 million? Wouldn't you rather have $1 million worth of BHP? And he said, Jim, you got to remember these people have got all the BHP shares. So,
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Depending on how big pockets you have.
What's the most expensive painting on offer on Sunday?
It's $50,000 was
that cover shot. Hand Tyson.
No, the lovely picture inside.
Oh, right. The still life.
The still life.
Yeah. It's hard to explain, but there's a plate with a knife and a bowl of flowers and there's a smaller bowl with maybe cream in it or coffee or something. It is beautiful. I love the colours.
Yeah.
But $50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've sold a hyacinth for about $150 and we remember we had that beautiful Hugh Sorey. We sold that for 150. But, you know, even when we look back, you don't sell 150,000 painting every sale.
No.
Occasionally you get a picture, but you know, things change. There's so many things that change.
Yeah, but you've got to be ahead of the curve, I suppose.
Well, if you buy good pictures, and you have to have good knowledge, and you have to know what you're doing. But if you buy really good pictures, they always hold their value, and they may remain static. But a good picture will always find a home.
Yeah.
It's the pictures that are decorative in the decorative market, e.g. the Aboriginal market.
Yeah.
Thousands of artists are selling their work on an average of $400 or $500, $300.
Yeah. What's Bromley bringing these days?
Well, Bromley's a success story.
But there's so many of them. He must spend his whole life.
So many Pro Harts, weren't there? There were so many.
Oh,
There were so many.
But I happen to like Pro Hart. I don't know. I don't understand.
You know,
Yeah.
Big producers, if they're in the marketplace, they're always going to be saleable
Yeah.
and always going to be interest while they're alive.
The great thrill for someone like you must be to look at a painting and an artist and then have such faith in him that you can not only make his day, you can make his whole career.
Well, we don't promote artists. We mainly in the resaleable side of the marketplace. There's not too many galleries around Australia who take on an artist. You know,
No. They used to, didn't they? They used to.
Oh, but we ran a gallery, as you know.
Yeah, well, you had a great hand in Pro Hart's success.
Oh, definitely. You know, Pro Hart was very good to our gallery. But how many times have you seen a Pro Hart come along, Jeremy? You don't see artists of that.
No.
You know, there's reasons why he was so very successful, as well as he was very...
He was original, one-off.
Yeah, and he was a very generous person. Any charity that asked him for a donation, he'd send them a painting. That's all good PR stuff.
And he was very good at self-promoting himself.
That's
so,
right, you know.
very, very much out there.
When
he would paint prayer books.
Dulux ads.
He would have given away 10,000.
10,000, because he was a devout Christian.
And one of those little prayer books, little Bibles.
Yes.
I think the highest price is $3,500.
Wow, I've got one. He gave it to me.
Yeah.
Came in an interview and gave me the little black prayer book with a Pro Hart on the front.
Yeah, and he also used to write a psalm in there for you to read.
Yes.
It's his way of spreading the word.
Yeah, and he painted a Rolls Royce, I remember.
Beg your pardon?
He painted a Rolls Royce.
He did?
He did. Oh, there it is. Yes, yes, look at that.
I can tell you a very quick story about the Rolls Royce. For years and years, I asked Pro, would he paint a Rolls Royce for me so that we could tour and sell his prints and do exhibitions.
Yeah.
And he kept putting it off and putting it off. And eventually I said, you need to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
So in the year 2000, he painted the Rolls Royce. He gave me, I think at the time, about 8 or 9 paintings. And he said, Jim, take these and sell them and get me a Rolls Royce, which we did. We got for low.
Yeah.
And we set the Rolls Royce up there. He gave us the painting.
Because it was a Broken Hill, wasn't it?
It's a Broken Hill. And that's what came out of it, a beautiful... And
somebody's got that car somewhere.
it's up at it's on view up Broken Hill.
Oh, right, okay. So it stayed in the family, so to speak. Now, gee whiz.
That picture, by the way, was Margaret Olley.
Margaret Olley?
Yeah. Her works have sold close to...
Oh, yes. Yeah. Now, the actual auction is on Sunday.
Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Sunday at 1 o'clock.
And viewing's on at present.
Yes.
It's today and tomorrow.
So people can go in and have a look. And I will be doing that either today or tomorrow.
I'd love to see it.
I love looking. I love looking. But you've got to register and that sort of stuff, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, but you can do all that over the phone.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's lovely. And again, I say congratulations because
thank you very much for the opportunity.
No. You're a wonderful South Australian institution. You're too young to be an institution, but I think the world of you.
Thank you.
I was just trying to find the insect. Oh, there it is. There's the Pro Hart insect.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Not as big as representation in this sale of Pro Hart's work.
No.
But a few, but really nice ones.
Yeah. I'd love to see the ones. Oh, you got some Bromleys too, yeah?
Yeah, well...
the ones that do you ever reject and say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to put that on my wall?
Look, to each their own, Jeremy.
Yeah.
To each their own. He started off in Melbourne Street in a little shop down opposite Decker's where you were, down there.
Yeah.
And he started off there about in the 80s.
80s, yep.
With nothing. He's got galleries in every part on the Gold Coast.
Yeah. Who's that?
David Bromley. Got a gallery in Sydney.
Right.
One in Chapel Street.
David Bromley.
And his own at Dalesford. He's got a huge enterprise there. And just had faith in the compositions that he painted. And he keeps...
churning them out. Churning them out. Wonderful to see you. The address is 106 to 110, one of the most beautiful buildings, ladies and gentlemen, that you could possibly imagine, created by this man. But you'd swear it was built in the 1800s, but it's built in the 80s, I think.
Yeah, started in 78 and it finished in 82.
Yeah, well, it's a great tribute to you, everything you do. You're not a Virgo, are you? You're not a Virgo, are you?
No. I'm a passive tourist.
Passive tourist. Okay, so the address is, let me focus here, 106 to 110 Melbourne Street, North Adelaide, and you can ring and you can speak to Helen or Jim.
Look at all this on the internet.
And what do you go to? Is it info@Elder Fine Art?
www.elderfineart.com.au.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you, Jeremy.
All the best. Jim Elder, ladies and gentlemen.